Good evening. Welcome to the ADA Accessibility Plan Open House. This is for the City of Dublin, Ohio Parks and Recreation Department. It is September 25th, and we will start our presentation. A few things to know. Please know that you can leave and rejoin the meeting at any time. This meeting is being recorded. There will be multiple opportunities for input throughout the meeting. Please, when you join, mute and turn your cameras off. Any additional materials for this presentation will be posted on the website, the Tell Dublin website, later in the week. And please keep your comments or questions relevant to this presentation and the project. Thank you. My name is Eileen Dryden. I am the project manager for this project. I work for Altura Solutions. My coworker, Juvelin Owen, has worked on this project as well. She's a GIS specialist. And we are working with the City of Dublin Parks and Recreation Director, Matt Ehrman. Our agenda tonight, we have a quick Teams technology overview. We have meeting goals. We'll go over the ADA transition plan, the schedule, the assessment, next steps, and any questions that you may have. So just a quick update. If you're using Teams for the first time, if you would like to comment or ask a question, please type it in the comments section. You can see a little icon for that. It's a little bubble with some lines in it. You can also click the hand icon, and that is basically a wave or a raise hand, and we'll know that you have a question. Muting and turning off your video, those are also icons, the video camera icon, and then the microphone icon. Okay, meeting goals. We're here to inform you the status of the Parks and Recreation ADA Accessibility Plan, what we hope to achieve, how the process has worked, the time frame, and some of the findings that we have had, we found collecting data, and then next steps, and then questions. And just a refresher, as this is our second public input event, what is an ADA accessibility plan? The accessibility plan came about when the ADA was approved in the early 90s, and it basically said Title II entities, which is state and local government agencies, need to provide a way to show their communities that they are providing equal opportunity to their programs and services and to their facilities. And so an ADA accessibility plan basically means we are here to assess your facilities and your programs and services, as well as your communications and website, for compliance with the ADA. We'll be collecting data in all three of those areas. We will provide methods and recommendations on how to remove those barriers. We'll provide a schedule to achieve program access and associated costs with achieving that access. And then also the accessibility plan includes assigning an ADA coordinator to facilitate this plan, which is what you will have at the end of this project. So what does that mean for Dublin Parks and Recreation? That means that, once we've done our self-evaluation of your facilities and your programs and services, we will provide a report on the findings. We will then write a plan that shows how the Parks and Recreation Department will achieve compliance with the ADA, and over what time period it achieves it, how much it may cost, and how they will implement the plan. having an accessibility plan in place allows a department to just enhance existing programs and services, making those activities and programming available to everyone is just a really great step in a positive direction. It creates accessibility, inclusion, and just overall, it benefits the community. Programs and services, just a little definition here. Uh, as they pertain to the ADA, they include facilities, events, actions undertaken by a Title II entity, which is what Dublin Parks and Recreation Department is. So those could be any classes offered in Parks and Recreation. Those are senior programming, youth programming, it's swim team signups, you know, sports teams, it's almost anything that the Parks and Recreation Department offers. Special events, all of that. Yeah, the policies and procedures. If the PSAs are what you're providing, policies and procedures are how you're providing them, and how you're approaching each of those activities. So there's, a service animal policy. There's eligibility requirements for participation in a lot of the department's programs. There's applications for volunteers to fill out. So the policies and procedures are how the department offers their PSAs. We also analyze those PSAs and the policies. We check them against ADA. We identify potential discrimination issues, and we correlate the programs with the facilities they're held in. That's how the PSAs and the facility self-evaluation are married. It's really important to know where these activities are taking place, and then we can better understand the space once we're there assessing. And just as an example, facility types that we assessed, if you look at the diagram, this is an example of a building. We start outside and work our way in. We are looking at accessible parking. We're looking at the entrances, exterior accessible routes from the right-of-way, which includes bus stops. We're looking at drinking fountains, interior accessible routes. That's interior doorways, let's say, making sure they're wide enough, making sure there's no barriers. Those are reception areas, point of sale counters, definitely restrooms, and then special use such as auditoriums and classrooms are also included. In terms of parks, we're looking at nearly the same thing. We're just outside. We are looking at accessible parking, routes and trails. Restrooms are also included. We're looking at picnic areas, sports courts and fields, playgrounds, access to those playgrounds, the seating and bleachers for those sports fields that I just mentioned, fitness equipment that you find along trails, and then drinking fountains and other site furnishings that are throughout the Dublin Park system. Just a quick note on our project timeline. We started in February of 2024. We've been doing assessments in terms of collecting data on the programs and services that Dublin offers, and then also collecting physical facility data with our site assessments, which we have completed, and we're now in the analysis phase. And this is our last public input as well. We had one in July. It was in person. It was great. And hopefully some of you were there and are looking at this video as well. But we are on track to be completed with this project in November. And just to talk about some of our findings in terms of facility assessments. We assessed 68 city-owned parks and facilities. And then we also went over more than 80 PSAs that were provided to us by the Parks and Recreation staff. And it may be hard to see on this graph, but there definitely are some trends in what we were seeing that may not meet ADA compliance. There's nothing concerning, but definitely this light blue part of the pie is showing trails. And so you may say, gosh, our trails are really bad. Well, what we did notice on the trails were just minor inconsistencies in surface level, and then some trail surface openings, if you will, so cracks. And we do recognize that is the nature of your geographic location was freeze and thaw. But that is something that the department can look at over time and plan for when they're allocating resources to continue on with their development. Prioritization. So the data collected will show what the parks and facilities have the greatest need in terms of compliance. That could be trails, like I mentioned from the other slide, heavily weighted, as we found quite a few violations there. But that doesn't mean that trails may be the highest priority for the Dublin community. And that is a part of what we really need your input for. We are looking for the community's input on what is important and what is of highest value to you. Is that trails? Is that parks? Is it just playgrounds? It could be also the programmatic side. So is it recreational programming, sports programming? Do you just need more adaptive programming for adults, for youth? What drill down and kind of think about what information you can share with us. It would be really helpful while you're taking the survey to provide that. Is another priority the communication to the community? Is Dublin doing a good job? Is the department doing a good job? Is that communication accessible? We really want to know what is most important to you, and that is probably going to be the most helpful information we can get from our online survey, which you will see next. So our next steps, please, if you have a moment, take a scan of this QR code or go to the Tell Dublin website right here. And just take the survey. I believe it's 10 questions. It should not take very long. Survey will be up and live for 30 days. If you do need assistance or auxiliary aids or services or written materials in alternative formats, please let us know. We will set you up with someone who can assist you with that. With that, that is the end of our presentation. Thank you. Thank you in advance for going to the website and taking the survey. We look forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions, please follow the routine here on how to get those questions to us. Thank you.